Alright, a bit of a change of pace here. I have a Reflecta Diameter AF. I think that's an autofocus slide projector here. It says Type 1002 on the bottom. And as you can see, this, I assume slide changer is stuck out. And this, I think, this looks like a hatch for a single slide because there's, the lens is here. And this machine is not working. So I'm gonna try plugging it in. And red button must be a change slide. And I don't know what that light means. Maybe that's the autofocus feature. I tried looking online for manuals, didn't find anything. I did find a warning, however. This is a caddy for carrying extra pieces, and then there's a nice compartment for the cord here. And all the warnings online said to make sure this thing is out before you try to remove this piece. Since part of the problem of this machine is that this section is stuck out, you can see there's a hole in here for that to go in and help lock this piece in place. And then that box fills this space, and this space is where the slide cartridges go. That's what I need to do. I'm going to grab one of the slide carousels and see if inserting a slide cartridge gets it to do something. Alright. Got these slide cartridges, have 2 grooves on the back, or bottom side, and let's see here. If I can slide it into the machine from the back, it clicks forward. Oh, yep, and then the numbers go up when it goes that direction. So if there's a nope. Alright. Well, I can get, the light seems to turn on, but doesn't do anything with the slide and carousel in place either. So slide that out, and then there's a cover here, and it looks like an access for lamp changing. So we'll take this screw out. What's in here? Oh, this hatch just lifts. Okay, so that screw does hold something down. And then, alright, our lens just unscrews out the front there. And the door fell open, which obviously it can't do if we're gonna try and get in. So we'll take these obvious screws out on this side here. Yep, that was just a self-tapping plastic screw that hasn't been removed in quite some time, which is why it made that noise. Very long one. We'll have to do some further investigating after we get these out. Those three. And yep, that cover comes off and it just hides the cord for the remote. If I tip this down, is there a plug? Nope, there's not a plug. All right. Does the handle hide anything? Nope. Is there a... Alright. Oh, that one screw held the entire top here on, but this slide holder section which appears to be jammed sideways somehow in here. Yeah, there's a slide holder in here that is jammed. So I need to carefully take there we go. Alright, now that's sprung out. Still can't lift this part up though. Alright, maybe. Aha! Unjamming that allowed it to come back in. And now this slide frame can come out. I have a slide that was mushed up. Maybe I need to flatten that out. That does go in this holder, and then that holder faces forward. Okay. Okay, and it is... Alright, still gonna lift this cover and check in here. Yeah, okay, so one screw held that cover in place. So this screw near the lamp is the only thing that held the cover in place. And importantly, on the bottom side of this machine, aha, okay, there is a big switch under here. Big switch under here to set it for 110, 240, 130, 220. So it's a multi-voltage unit for lots of different European voltages. It's got a big transformer in here that gets selected to provide voltage in on the machine. And there is a square rubber drive belt on the side of this here. And that seems to be working. Like there's no rotting on it. And it doesn't have a curve spot. Alright. Well, let's try again without touching anything because the electrics are out. And the fan is running, that's important. So I should be able to turn the lamp on. Okay. Oh, and it is clearly trying to autofocus there. Just slide our that switch did that. Alright. So it has a little clutch on here for the moving of the lens. And we're gonna I'm gonna have to finish checking this out. I think since I'm in here, I'm gonna get my Tri-Flow oil. I'm gonna put one drop of Tri-Flow on each of these fan bearings for this motor. This is our single slide carrier. And what else might I need to check while I'm in here? It looks okay and clean, so I guess I'm just going to put the lid back on and see if I can get it to cycle with the cartridge here. And since the only slide I have is this square corner bent up one, I'm not going to try and auto load it. So, alright. Oh yeah, got to take the lens out to put the lid on. Lens out, cover lens back in since the lid is on, and then our single screw that holds this entire cover on, and the cover for the lamp changing. we slide our slide holder in, arrow facing toward the lens. And it's not sliding. There we go. All right, maybe. Nope. It's getting stuck again. We can hear the motor spinning that. Okay. So clearly what's happening is our, there we go. I'm gonna get our holder out. Okay. Get the, there we go. Came in, reset, get this holder out, and then get our lid off. And the problem that we're running into put the lens in out of optimism all the time. So this piece here is getting snagged somewhere in its travel, because this piece is supposed to go to push the slides out. So let's see. Will it work without the carrier in place? No. There's a something. Yep. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move the camera down and we're gonna take a look at this. Try to figure out what's going on. The thing I'm trying to figure out how to get at is this section of the slide changer. You can see how it's twisted here. This is supposed to be straight, because when it slides back that way, it slides back to the right. This piece is not supposed to be interfering with this reed switch here, these contacts. And then the real issue is that when it is pulling over to the left, because it's twisted like this, it's catching on this metal ridge in front of the slide holder, and it's not able to push the slides in and out. It's supposed to be centering and sliding past this frame, but instead, because it's not, it's bent, it's catching on the side of this frame and getting jammed. So I'm gonna start with, because there's no more screws on the bottom side of this machine, I'm gonna try removing Couple screws in the middle here. Because I want to figure out why this piece is crooked. Alright, so I've got, this was a long screw. I'm going to remove, there's a screw here that is a long plastic threaded screw. And not a hole. Let's remove this screw, and that screwdriver is actually a bit big. Get a slightly smaller one, and I've loosened this drive belt, the square belt on the side here, so that I can remove this without stretching it. It's another long screw. This screw. Okay, making a little bit of progress lifting here. Now, oh, there's a screw there. That. Okay. That did loosen a little bit. Oh, that's a cover that comes out. Did that. Okay. There are 2 rubber feet on the bottom of this. It's time to check under these feet for screws. Nope, no screw under that foot. So I doubt there's a screw under this foot. Yep, that foot is also just a foot. All right. Any other screws? There's the giant one holding the transformer in, but I don't think... That can't possibly be... I shouldn't have to remove the transformer to get these sections out. Or do I? Maybe the transformer screws do have to come out. Luckily, unlike TVs, there's no big honking capacitors in these things, so... These 4 very large screws out. Does that... Oh yeah, it loosens the whole tray up here. Okay. So... as I lift here, the voltage selector is still down in the bottom there, though. That's the thing that's in the way of what I got going on here. All right. Does okay. With this balanced on the edge, what has to happen for me to get this slide? I am gonna get to the side and look at this a little bit more, try to figure out what I might be able to do to see what's happening with this piece that's not aligning. Alright, well, I took a look. There isn't a good way to fix the problem that's in there with this machine, so we're gonna resort to bad ways of fixing the problem. But that means first I need to get the bottom set back in. And that means that we're gonna have to tuck all this cabling back in place. Because when I lifted this up, all these cables moved all around. I don't know what happened to, there we go. That pulley for the square belt slid out of place, and because it's on a, you know, it's got a slip connection in it. So, alright. So, get the pulley. Yeah. Get that belt in without any curves or twists in it. Which I guess it doesn't need to be on just yet. I just need to make sure it's in there. And then get all loose wires along the side were packed neatly in underneath this cable, and the cable is the connector for the remote. So it comes into the case on the far side and is routed all around from the far side. There we go. And then with the cable, the wire is all under the cable. That keeps them from getting in the way of everything. Alright, it appears that the transformer held in place with the same size screws as the biggest ones from the main case, so that's easy enough. And just like all plastic threaded screws, we need to make sure and get them back threaded to collect the cut threads from the first time they were put in, so we're not cross-threading. But I'm going to get these in. Alright. And there were a pair of short screws. This screw was a short screw. And the screw here was a short screw. And this is not sitting together properly. I gotta figure out why that didn't set together properly here. Oh, that must be that piece that didn't get in there right. There's a tiny ramp kind of a thing that I think is for, because I think this machine is designed to take several different kinds of slide carousels. So just going to loosen these here and try to peer in from this side. There is an odd little lever in here, but I don't... Okay. And there is a hole in the bottom of the thing that I think this is supposed to poke up into. There we go. All right. Now we got this to fit together. There is a little lever that pokes up into this hole here. And that is the a little lever that had to poke through a hole here. And it's not in the pivot that it needs to be in. That's why it's not working properly. Okay. In the pivot, lift it up. There. Set in. There we go. Okay. Now we're good to go. Get that screw in before that pesky pivot gets out of the way. All right. I'm gonna finish putting these screws in and put this rubber band on, and then I'm gonna come back with my super whatever kind of plan to get this piece to not catch when it moves. All right, I know I said I had a super secret plan to correct this. My entire plan is just gonna be to get something, probably this open-ended wrench, and hold this piece, and take my heat gun and blow down in there to warm it up, to try and soften the plastic and let the plastic relax back into place, because clearly it got jammed somehow and bent over time, and a little bit of heat and a moment here should be enough to get it to relax back where it belongs. So let me get that, and then I'll have to be real careful about this belt, because this is a soft rubber belt and I certainly don't want to be overheating that. You can see this piece, all I did was bend it a little bit, you know, hold it facing away from where it was catching and warm it with my heat gun, and we got no problems with travel anymore. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, guess I'm going to return it, and hopefully they'll be able to use it for some slides.